Now in today's video, we're taking a look at the Rig R5 Spear Pro. And these are competitive gaming headsets that are going to give you the upper edge while not breaking the bank in the process. We're going to take a look at the overall features. We're going to see some of the customization options. And I just want to give you guys a teaser that these caps that you see here, they come off and you can actually 3D print your own to create a personalized look for your headphones. Now, not only that, but if you have a UV printer, guess what? You could also create some that have your own brand and logo on them. So let's get right to it. Now, these headphones are intended to give you the upper edge in gaming without having to break the bank because of their affordability. They give you that edge to be able to hear your surroundings and understand exactly what's going on around you. And we're not talking about the large explosions, someone yelling, the actual footsteps of someone chasing you. We're talking about those sneak attacks. We're talking about those where all you hear is a crunch, a snap, a click, a pin drop, and being able to directionally identify where that's coming from so that you can have a faster reaction time. These are actually licensed by Sony, and they have fantastic drivers. We're talking about 40mm graphene drivers with a 6mm flexible flip to mute microphone. And we're going to test this microphone so you can see the overall performance, not just the quality, but if you happen to be in a noisy environment, how is this going to work? Now, as you also heard, we talked about these mod plates, and these mod plates give you the ability to personalize your experience. The mod plates are magnetic and they're replaceable, and they've actually provided the STLs, the actual files where you can create your own mod plates. Now, it's not just about printing colors, but it's also about creative designs. It's about bringing your gaming identity to life in the headphones that you wear, and I think that that's absolutely fantastic. Now, the interface is a simple audio interface, right? So let's face it, if you don't have a laptop that has a simple interface or a console that has one, which most of them do, you can always use a USB to audio connector, like many that are available on the market today. I'm going to show you one of the ones that I use when I'm gaming. This is a THX adapter that's going to give me, again, superior sound. USB-C on one side, and then it has the audio on the other, where this guy just snaps in like this, and then I'm ready to go. Needless to say, the cable is long. Also, it has a volume switcher right here so that you can go ahead and adjust, again, that volume right here. So you can see how you can do that right here. And they're very comfortable to wear. So let's take a closer look at these, and then we'll see some of the features, and then we'll go into hearing how the mic sounds, and I'll also give you an audio test. Now, I probably went a little bit overboard when it came to printing, again, these mod caps, just because I could, and I was really enthused about the fact that you could do this. So let me go ahead and bring these all here so you can see them all. So you can see I went to town printing. I created red ones. And the thing about this is that you'll need to make sure that you have magnets, so because it attaches via magnets, supported in each one of these spots. I just printed them out just to show you what the experience was like. I printed this one, which is kind of like a galaxy. These are all PLA, by the way, but with some sparkle to it, just because I wanted to see what it would look like. And you notice how this area right here, you can really personalize it by either adding color, adding depth, building this up, however you want to do this. Or in my case, what I did is I UV printed my logo on them so I can have that. You can see that I printed basic gray. I printed also black, and you can see how clean these are, right? So this is very simple to print. It's something that required very little support, but it's still printed out very cleanly. And I printed these on a variety of printers. I printed this both on the Creality K2 Pro and also on the Bamboo H2S, as well as some other printers that we have that we did some testing on, including Anycubic and others. And here you'll see a version where I actually took that mod plate and printed out in white, and then I used the Eufy E1 UV printer to create these prints. So I directly printed on these mod plates. Now, if you don't have a UV printer, but you have a 3D printer and you're creating all these designs, one of the things that you can do is you can order UV stickers. And those are not stickers like normal stickers. Those are really, really strong stickers where you'd be able to apply your stickers to your mod plates if that's something you wanted to do. Now, as we look at the headphones right here, you'll notice I have one of the mod plates. I have it removed here. But basically what you're going to be able to do is just do one of these. So be able to put it in place just like that, and you can see what that looks like. So if I don't have the magnet on here, but this is what it would look like if I had it, right? And you'd be able to replace them. And you can see simply by changing these out, what you can see from a different color perspective, and how, again, you're going to be creating, again, giving your headphones some form of personality that typically wouldn't be there unless you did a special order. And again, these you can make and have at home. I just love the fact that you have, again, all that flexibility to create those different unique looks, and the fact that these are available for you to personalize and to play with. Now, the headphones themselves, these bases or these mod plates, they're basically attached with magnets. So there's some little magnets right here, right, that are inside of this piece. So you'll need to make sure that you get some small magnets that you can insert in your prints so that they will lock into place just like these do. I did not do that with mine, however, at this time. Now, the actual earpieces themselves, really good foam. You'll notice how thick this is. The actual headband itself doesn't vice. I didn't feel it like squishing on my head, although there's a lot of memory foam there. And then you basically have your a mic here is also really nice and long. You can see how this is. And basically, it just works really well. You notice how flexible it is. This also moves up, down, left, right. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on so you can see this and you can see what it looks like. So here it is right here. And then you could actually do one of these things. My rule typically is 2 fingers. So I'm gonna put it 2 fingers right here. And as long as I'm 2 fingers away, I'm gonna be fine with the audio. You don't wanna be too close because then, there's spit, there's all this stuff that starts getting on this. You wanna keep that away from you. Really, because of the noise canceling that typically you get from headphones like this, you don't really have to have it so close. A lot of people think that it has to be close to deal with the noise issues, but you wouldn't. Also, let's face it, if you eat something, that's going to be in the way. But the cool thing about it, go like this and you're muted, go back and you're ready to go. So I really, really like that flexibility. And then as you'll notice, this is, again, something that is worry-free flexibility, right? You don't have to worry about this thing. If you bend it too much, you notice how I'm just changing it from side to side. As long as you have those 2 fingers there, which are kind of like my rule when it comes to wearing headphones. But this is what they would look like when they're on. They're not very large either. They're kind of compact. And I really like the overall feel. I also haven't been suffering from overheating when you wear these. Haven't been having it. And as I described in the audio experience, we basically have headphones that are going to give you the immersive experience, right? Because there's great passive noise canceling that's going on when you put the headphones on. But it's really about situational awareness. It's about hearing a branch break and directionally knowing where that took place. Because that can make the difference between fast react time and no react time because you're out of the game. So that's what these are going to give you. But they do not also sacrifice on the big booms, on the highs, mids, and lows are all there. And if you're listening to music, you can use these to listen to music too. It has great music separation. So I really like, the fact that it separates the mid, the highs, and the lows, and things don't bleed into each other. So these are multi-purpose. You can use them for gaming, but if you want to enjoy some music, you can use the same headphones for both. Now, next we're going to do a chat test of the R5s in a quiet environment. And what you're going to be hearing is the difference between going from my standard audio, right, to the actual mic itself. So let's go to switch. Now, this is what the headphones would sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is a test. Again, this is what the R5s would sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, I've added about 80 decibels of noise, and I wanted to see how well these would react with the noisy background and how much would be canceling and what comes across on the chat if I'm gaming. So let's go ahead and switch so you can hear how it sounds. But what I'm going to do is as soon as I switch, I'm going to stay quiet, and then we'll bring in the vocal so you can see how much is canceled, and then when my voice comes in, if I'm competing or not with the noise behind me. Again, up to 80 decibels in noise. Let's go ahead and switch. All right, now this is what the headphones would sound like in a noisy environment if I'm chatting. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is a test. This is what the headphones would sound like in a noisy environment if I was chatting. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test. All right, guys, so that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.